Greetings and welcome to TFT Tarot for today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee, and I'm Oberon here to give you Goth Tarot, and it's my weekly exploration into the shadow issues of life. I've been a little bit under the weather lately, so I'm going to do a shorter, more concise kind of reading, so I'm just going to do maybe just a few cards instead of many few cards. And I will follow that with an affirmation from the Earth and Bone Oracle, which we like to use here. So I'm going to start off with, and this is a collective reading for everybody, so it's not divided up by zodiac signs of any sort. I'm using the Midnight Boulevard for the first cards, and I'm using them for the dark design. I'm going to draw 3 cards that will pertain to the elements around you at this time. So they could be physical situations or they could be more abstract. Let's see what we get. And the Moonlight Boulevard, I'm not shilling for them, but it's a beautiful deck that I got through Tavada.com. And they have a lot of really interesting and colorful and beautiful decks. But so far, this is the only one I have. And I really like it, especially for Goth Tarot. All right, so as I said, I was going to throw 3 cards to describe our dark design, the idea of the environment around us, what's going on. And so that first card is the Queen of Wands, and she's upright. That's lovely. And the next card is the Upright Empress, which is also lovely. And then the final card is the reversed Nine of Pentacles. And, you know, it's kind of funny because, of course, the Nine of Pentacles is somebody enjoying their garden, and of course that's a spider in a web enjoying his garden, no doubt. So okay, the elements around you that maybe describe your life or the situation, and this is a general, kind of reading, so this is a gestalt for everyone. There's a lot of activity and a lot of sense of someone needing to be noticed, the Queen of Wands kind of energy, but it's provocative because it's forwarding perhaps an agenda, or if it's forwarding a can-do attitude, it's sort of like strategic. It's kill them with kindness, be charming, but make no mistake, the Queen of Wands energy expects to receive some sense of satisfaction with whatever they're doing. So in a general sense, I sort of feel like this could be talking about, the needs for our culture to be recognized as, valid, and to be ready to stand up for that or to provoke that in the consciousness. The Empress plays that similar feeling, perhaps, in that it's about taking care of things, beautifying things, increasing your creative and productive outputs, especially if it is about, artistic kind of qualities. So when I'm combining that, could be saying that if this is talking about a movement of any sort, the movement also needs to beautify ourselves, give the good image. And so I'm not going to get into any kind of political debate here. Some people like, accept me as I am, warts and all. I'm kind of a little bit of the opinion that sometimes you meet people halfway. You do meet them on some sense of their expectations. Not fully, perhaps. At any rate, I think the last card is maybe more interesting too, as an element around us right now too, and it suggests maybe we're driven here because we still feel the need to find perfection, that our garden still has some work to be done. And all those cards have that quality to some degree. Wands is about growing things. The Empress is about things flourishing. So there's an idea here of creating something that maybe is really going to connect you or us to a greater something, and or to show the world we care, or to show others we care. You know, the Empress, it doesn't get any more complete than that, I suppose. So I'm liking that. That's the dark design, the idea of being represented and being forward and being brave, being charming, showing our creativity, and wanting more security for ourselves. You know, I think Pentacle cards sort of up that ante about, you know, being safe and secure. So I'm moving on now, and I'm not sure what I wanted to call this, because I'm just going to pull two cards from the Deviant Moon Tarot, and the idea behind this pull is it's going to be a top and bottom, and the top card is maybe something you don't know that perhaps you need to know, you know, like somebody else's intentions or some other actions or energy going on. And the bottom card will be why you need to know this, you know, or what you can do with this, perhaps. So once again, that's the Deviant Moon Tarot. And top card, what is it you need to know for this situation I'm describing? And it's the reversed Six of Wands. So what you don't know is that maybe this is about not being acknowledged. This is about not being recognized. And so if we are talking in general about, you know, a culture around the emo goth crowd, which is arguably mostly pagan, mystical, there's kind of a range there. You know, it's not, I mean, and there could be subgroups, I don't really know, you know, maybe pagan goths don't hang around with Christo goths, I don't know, but maybe they do. But regardless, this is saying is that what we don't know is that perhaps there's a hard time in being recognized, or a hard time in being looked at as, you know, not so much interesting, but maybe as a force, as a hero, or even as an anti-hero. That maybe this still suggests that Gothism is sort of below the radar, or it's not really being seen. So what did I say the bottom of the card would be? Why it's important, perhaps, or what you can do with it. And it's the Queen of Cups. And maybe it's important because there's a lot of true heart and a lot of true emotion. You know, it connects to those cards, you know, the sense of, you know, taking care of nature is sort of there in those cards because they have a natureful aspect. And so the Queen of Cups is maybe the feeling of the love about that, the awe, the reverence about that. And so what we can do with this, or what we need to be able to counter this, is to show our love. You know, it's that jokey thing I heard back in the late 80s. And they'll know we are pagans by our love, by our love. And if you grew up Catholic, you may recognize those words, because that was a song back in the catechism of the 60s that I seem to remember. Boy, I'm old. Anyways, there we go. So what you don't know is that maybe this is to some degree fruitless, or it's unrecognized, that you might need to be a hero here. But what you can do about it, or why you really need to do it, the reason you really need to do that, is because of love. To show how we love. So I'm now going to do the Earth and Bone affirmation to close us. And I want everybody to consider watching the unboxing for Banshee's Cries of the Soul's Oracle. This looks like a really good thing to be using for shadow work or for our readings that, give suggestions for your shadow work. That's coming out on Monday, or came out on Monday. So check that out. It's at our YouTube channel. All right. So our affirmation and shadow work ideas for this week. It's migration. Number 15. Initiate. Beginnings, freedom, adventure, first step. And some of the reading was about this idea of maybe having to, be provocative about, ourselves in our community. Sometimes you have to take a gamble. Do you have the patience it takes, plus the courage towards risks to reap the rewards? Sometimes it might not work out, and sometimes it will. But if you never take the chance, you'll never know. The hard truth is that no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you everything you want. No one is coming to help you change, teach you, or accept you until you do it for yourself. Stop making excuses and go after the life you want. Stop or change how you approach and do things. Still take actions, but balance work and play. Choose to do it from a place of joy and love. Take time for yourself. You may be taking on too much. Take breaks. Shift your process and thoughts. Let go of the need to do it all. Replenish yourself. Put in the time for self-care and balance. You do not need to complete everything on the checklist all at once. You are helped and guided. You may need to ask for help from others. Try to delegate what you don't enjoy if it needs to be completed. Affirmation. I believe in myself and my abilities. I am unstoppable. I am proud of myself and how far I have come. All right, this was a perfect meditation affirmation for what we saw there. A lot of this, and you look at the Queen of Wands, is a dynamic personality, but maybe we're not always born with that kind of stuff inside us. And so maybe the meditation helps us realize that, you can back off now and then. You don't have to do everything on that checklist. I see a lot of really positive opportunities here. And I feel that, as a collective reading, this is saying, we go on and we do what we can and we struggle. There's a great resistance that is coming over many people who realize that we have to be the stewards of our own change, that there's no hero for us. There's nobody who's going to come in and clear away excess in the government and give everybody 5,000 or whatever the hell it is dollars. That's not going to happen. I'll eat my hat. All right, that's enough. let's just say goodnight, Gracie, to everyone out there, and I'll see you next week. Don't forget to watch our live show tomorrow night. If you have fuller questions of your own, we do that from 7 to 9 p.m. on Thursday nights. On Friday is my other show, The Emotional Exchanges. Hopefully it'll be a more complete show, but normally I'm reading for all the signs of the zodiac, telling them about the vibe for the week and whether or not they'll be lucky in love. Saturday is happy hour at its normal regular time of 10 a.m. It's a one-card message for all. Everyone in the chat room gets their own card promising positivity and maybe the way forward for the next week. And then Sunday, Banshee's Material Matters at 10 a.m. And we're live in the chat room for that, but it is pre-recorded. But we have so much fun, nobody can stay away from that. So come on and check it out. And then don't forget to cap off the week with us live once more, our regular Sunday afternoon live stream from 2 to 4 p.m. Once again, we'll answer or endeavor to answer any of your questions. It is a busy Sunday usually, so don't forget to come early, possibly, and leave us your question if you do have to leave. And that's about it for everybody. We enjoy you all. We appreciate everything everybody is doing. So until the next time, take care.